Are you done with the spot bonuses?
We're going to, well, I'm not talking about spot bonuses, but certainly we're going to compensate with raises to people who are delivering, working hard for
I understand the raises, and I assume your raises are based on some salary schedule and performance. Is that fair?
That's
Okay.
fair.
But I'm interested in this spot bonuses. You describe it as having been, let's call it a solution for the failure of your predecessor. Okay. But that's behind you. And from the public's point of view, it's hard to understand the images that you walk around and say, thanks, buddy, and you give them a bonus. That's a very bad image. So I'm hoping you will stop the spot bonuses program.
Well, it was only one time.
Okay.
To
So
do
that's history. All right. What about no bid contracts? Are you going to continue issuing no bid contracts sometimes for over $1 million?
You know, I appreciate the question. I'm not an attorney, so I'm going to let my general counsel answer that to you.
Yeah, well, the procurement policy of the offices hasn't changed in 19 years. The law provides that, you know, the agency can use any procurement method for services. There are some good policy, the law allows that, and there's some good policy reasons for that. When we're looking for some IT services, we're not looking for the cheapest person. We're often needing to move quickly. And so we hire, as like we've started to do with looking at the SRS, a contractor to survey the market and find us a pool of vendors who can deliver, who have good reputations, who do business with other state agencies, who've been satisfactory, who are commercially competitive. We're always pursuing commercially competitive contracts. So it's a miscommunication for people to think that the office did not follow some law. We're very careful, follow the procurement laws. We work with the Department of Administration, work with the budget agency, work with, again, the comptroller who handles all of our expenses.
But, Mr. Bonnet, there must be cases where you could have taken bids and you didn't. Isn't that fair?
Well, the bidding is, respectfully, you know, the bidding process can take 6 months to a year, can add hundreds of thousands of dollars for a contract that's not that big. And some of the very best vendors in IT now, they don't respond to bids. They don't take the time to bid. How they pursue a project is proprietary information. So you have to pay them to give you a bid if you wanted to. So it's just not really done.
You have to pay for a bid? Is that what you're suggesting? There are vendors who will charge you to take a bid?
They consider that to be consulting, to come in and review your project and tell you how much, how they would charge for it.
Well, you're familiar with the standard bid process, right? You put out the requirements and they respond if they're interested, right?
Well,
there's no need to pay them for this. Are you suggesting that some of the people that you gave contracts to have been paid to come in and talk to you about the contract?
Yeah. Works that way.
So that's in addition to the contract, you paid them for helping you formulate the contract?
Well, we're not building buildings that have blueprints in engineering. We're hiring it's programmers. Again, it's largely service to, and so, and I researched this online. Bidding is not really a best practice in IT services procurement. It's not a common practice right now. So. That doesn't mean that they're not competitive, however.
Can you name any of the companies that you paid for to help you formulate your request and then you gave them a contract?
No, those aren't the same companies. No, we have project management companies that are very experienced in this type of work that will analyze a project and identify who the potential vendors would be.
Yeah, but I'm asking you if Company A charged you to help formulate what you needed or could get, and then got a contract from you based upon that formulation. And I'm specifically asking about Clean Slate Technology and MTX Group. Did they get fees in advance of contracts?
No, they weren't involved in the specification.
Good.
We have a CIO who is very engaged nationally, very engaged with both the state and local CIO community. They work together to communicate with vendors, communicate with resources, really look nationally. The two companies that you mentioned, they did the election system for New York, for Georgia, for many other companies. And really we're identified as a national class vendor to pursue some projects that we really needed on a.
So
on a
you
fairly
hired
quick
them on
basis.
reputation, not upon price or bid. That's what you're saying. I'm not condemning their reputation. They may be great companies, but you're saying basically you hired them based on their reputation, not based upon their price or their bid.
Representative, if you remember at the beginning of my presentation, one of my pillars is being efficient and the second one, innovative. And that's what we're trying to follow pursuant to Indiana Code 5-22-6-1. It allows us to do this. I want to innovate. I want to drive innovation. And as I said, we almost saved $1 million to the state by doing this. We reduced staff from 13.
How do you
to
know
5.
that you saved the money? Because you didn't bid. You didn't put it out for bid. So you don't know whether this was the most expensive company or the least expensive. You have no way to know that.
Probably if I would have done that, I would lose time and we're going to lose resources to do all of that. In my mind, we need to be more efficient and innovative.
You took the risk on the cost, is what you're saying.
We need to deliver.
Right?
I need to deliver to the Hoosiers. I work for our fellow Hoosiers that elected me, and I need to deliver to
Okay,
them.
now you know it's been reported that the two companies that I mentioned have made substantial contributions to your campaign in an off year. You're not up for election yet. Are you embarrassed by that?
You know, that is a separate, I'm here in an official capacity. I encourage you to reach out
So
to
you're
that
not
entity.
going to answer me because you're here in your official capacity? You're not going to ask me whether there's a connection between these no bid contracts and very substantial off-year contributions to you? You don't want to answer that?
We don't mix political and official businesses, sir.
Well, sir, I think you have a basic misunderstanding of the system here. You're asking for millions of dollars. You've had no bid contracts, and you won't answer my questions about the connection between those no bid contracts and very substantial tens of thousands of dollars in political contributions. That's what you're refusing to do, right?
We don't mix political and official businesses, sir.
So you're refusing. Okay, I understand that. That's pretty remarkable. Let me ask you another question. How many relatives, including in-laws, do you have on your payroll in your various groups?
You know, we hire based on qualifications and solely based on qualifications.
I'm assuming they're all beautifully qualified. How many of these beautifully qualified relatives do you have on your staff, in-laws or not in-laws?
Everyone on my staff are uniquely qualified for the positions.
I'm
they
not
are in.
questioning that. I think they're all great. How many of them are there and what is their relationship and what are you paying them?
I appreciate the question, sir, but I came here to do a job and I'm going to get the best of the best. And I'm glad to tell you that
I'm giving you that they're the best. What are you paying and how many are there?
I think there is no secret. There is a transparent portal there for everyone to see them. So,
The transport portal tells me who's your brother-in-law, who's your cousin.
well,
Man, that's a hell of a portal.
I'm very proud to tell you that I stand with my team members. They are the best in the business.
Did you hire one of your brother-in-laws for a newly created position and pay him more than $100,000?
I appreciate the question, sir.
You did, didn't you? You're not answering? You did do that,
I
right?
do have the best of the best in our office, and I'm proud to say Secretary of State's office
Well,
has the
you know,
best state government employees.
Mr. Secretary, I've been here a long time, but I've never seen such an abject refusal to tell the public what you're doing. And you're here asking for millions of dollars in increases for your office, and you won't answer these fundamental questions. I will have to vote against any part of the budget for your agency, given that. You take no bid contracts, you have a bonus program that is not an organized program. You won't tell me who your in-laws are or relatives who work for you. You won't deal with the fact that you give no bid contracts and then get tens of thousands of dollars in political contributions. So just for the record, I'm not asking you more questions because I'm sick of these refusals. And you're going to get a no vote on every aspect of your budget from this seat, and I hope from many others.